Welcome to part 32 of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and I am in total rage because I had no idea that this box was there until I used Ms. Mouse and smacked that area. But nonetheless, I got the Shine Sprite, so let's go and see where that tunnel near Twilight Town led. And this is the tunnel that is right before you cross the path to the Twilight Town tunnel. So yeah, this has a gradual syrup and a slow shroom. I just got the slow shroom just now, but also, if you blow this paper away, this leads to a section where you're going to have to use the bolt power-up, which actually we're going to get in Chapter 5. And also, that pipe leads to the Pit of 100 Trials. Oh yeah, I just killed that thing. And there's the slow syrup right there, so let's see what's on the other side of this door before we proceed. On the other side is... oh, well, I'm gonna have to come back for that later. But for right now, we've got things to do. And the first thing we need to do is go to the harbor and start talking to some sailors. Because, as it stands, we need to find out exactly what's going on with the sailors, and if we can actually find a way to get to Keelhaul Keys. Whereas Papatch there is trying to look for some way to get rich quick. Oh, and that's the first one you ask. And of course, everybody is basically scared to death about going to Keelhaul Key. And funny enough, that ship wasn't there before. No, it just now got there. You could ask most of these guys, and every last one of them will be quaking in their boots about Keelhaul Key and how the rumors of Keelhaul Key came to be. Or more like rumors of a pirate's curse. Every last one of them is going to mention something about a pirate's curse, but there is one particular person you need to talk to, and he's in Potley's bar. Of course, most of the people you're going to be talking to will be in Potley's bar, i.e., Potley, and of course, that one guy that was singing in the corner. You probably haven't noticed him in Chapter 1. I told you he would be of importance, and now he is. Because he's going to be our way to get to Keelhaul Key. But first, let's go straight into the inn, and let's talk to him. But where exactly are we going? And why are we going there? What am I doing? Oh, right. I just realized. I need to actually activate that before I even call myself barging into that person's house. So, yes. I kind of went off track, but now it's time to get back on track. Yeah, didn't mean to talk to you, buddy. He's kind of ticked off that Jolene wouldn't even give him the time of day or the time of night. And then again, Jolene's actually promoting Glitz Pit now because of the fact that Grubba is defeated. But here's the person you need to talk to. This is Flavio. Don't let the French accent fool you. He may look like a dashing sailor, but deep down, this guy, oh boy, he is a piece of work. And that Crystal Skull is definitely going to be of big importance. But if you want to actually get his attention, you might want to mention Thrills. Thrills is definitely what you want to give to him, but he'll also take Romance too, I think. But yes, Flavio It's definitely a head case, as you can see here. And since he's thinking about it, now he wants to go to Keelhaul Key because he wants to go for pirate treasure. Yeah, there's a problem. You see, everybody thinks that island is cursed. But if everybody said it, it must be true, right? Well, Flavio is intending to find out, and he wants to go get Cortez's hoard of pirate booty. You know, with a guy like Cortez, that would be names to run from. If I'm not mistaken, Cortez, in actual history, was a conquistador and explorer. But that's just what I heard. Still, Cortez is a name you want to run away from. And yet he's going to Keelhaul Keys. Of course, we're going to have to go there too in order for us to get the next crystal star. And of course, we're bringing that to his attention as well. And he just got finished saying that there's lots of treasure in Keelhaul Key, and yet he is blasphemizing Mario because of the fact that he thinks that Mario may take all the treasure from him. Yep, we certainly got a piece of work here. Get used to him, because trust me, this guy will make up some of the funny moments and sometimes cringeworthy moments in Chapter 5. Of that I'm certain. So, now Flavio's convinced that the only thing you want is just a crystal star. He can have everything else. And, yeah. We are basically going to start... Well, we're still in the prelude of Chapter 5, and now we just started the prelude to Chapter 5. And once we're done talking to Flavio, well, we're going to have to actually find ourselves a navigator. But Flavio, for the time being, actually has the ship, and the ship is right outside. We just got finished seeing that ship. That is his ship. In other words, all we need to do is literally find a navigator. But we gotta do that as soon as we go straight to the harbor. So we're gonna do that first. I would talk to Podley, but that's not it yet. For the time being, leave him be. Oh, I wouldn't talk to Luigi. I've already done that. I was just, accidentally pushing buttons. Yeah, that's it. But nonetheless, let's go to, the dock, and we're gonna have to go and find Bobbery. Yeah, that's basically the navigator we're gonna end up finding. And yes, he's also a teammate too. And wait a minute. What the hell? Are you serious? That's Crump! What the hell is Crump doing? Oh, reconnaissance. Right. I mean, you can tell it's Crump. Only, Crump would have purple horns, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, this is the part where Flavio asks you to find the navigator. And it's going to be a little bit longer than what you think. It would be easy, but unfortunately... Hold on one second. I got an itch. I'll be right. Sorry about that. I had to scratch my left ear and it was under the headphones. Anyway... Flavio is still bragging about his ship. He'll get to the point where we have to go to find a navigator. But yes, as I said, it is Bobbery, so... we might as well find him. Sorry for the spoiler warning, but this happens in this part anyway. It's how we get to him that may take a little bit more time than needed. Of course, Flavio is still talking out his behind until finally Papatch reminds him that Bobbery is in town. Oh boy, these two are gonna have some great times together. Let me assure you. But one thing I can note about Papatch, he definitely's got that kick-ass key that the bombs normally have, like a wind-up key. He's got crossbones on it as a key, and that's pretty cool. And I think Bobbery has a steering wheel. But either way, his is pretty cool. Bobbery's is just as cool, and I like the design. I really do. And nobody didn't even notice Lord Crump. For the time being, I mean, I'm not spoiling anything. You could tell by the shape that that's Lord Crump. If you've already beaten the game, or at least already played this game in Chapter 2, you can tell who Lord Crump is. And I think our weasel friend has already left the building. So, yeah. Let us go, and we gotta talk to sailors first. I'm thinking you're supposed to talk to them before you talk to Podley, so we're gonna talk to, not that sailor, but rather the sailors on the dock to look for Admiral Bobbery, and then we're gonna go and talk to, Podley, because that's what we need to do to continue the, to continue the prelude. So, all we need to do is talk to that one Babam. You don't have to talk to everyone, but that one Babam will tell you that Bobbery's normal hangout is is Podley's place, actually. So, what you do, get behind the counter, sorry, and talk to Podley, because I don't think you could talk to him from in front of the counter. Come on, get through. There we go. And now, Bobbery will inform you that even though Admiral Bobbery is in town, he's not going to just jump to the chance of sailing a ship. And it's best you let him be. And mind you, Bobbery has one of the saddest stories in the entirety of the game. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, and I was, like, in a daze. So, anyway, Bobbery does have a sad story to tell, and quite frankly, Bobbery is not going to easily let you in. The house is locked from the inside, and you're about to find out why. Oh, and I also made a mistake. That's not, what I thought it was earlier. Hold on, let me grab you. Alright, Orin. All we need to do is just jump. Well, I can't really do that right now. All we need to do is just jump across and use Yoshi yet again. Ugh. Excuse me, sorry about that. We need to use Yoshi to flutter jump, and now we're gonna have to go all the way over here to this house and to get under the Shine Sprite. And the third one is gonna be in Bobbery's house. So let's go back over to that area. Oh, and if you want to know the history of this town, excuse me, sorry, talk to Grifty. Grifty here will tell you all of details surrounding this city. from the heroes all the way to the demon itself. So, yeah. That's a lot of tales to tell. And I will probably deal with that off-screen. Or on-screen, whichever one you prefer. But for right now, Bobbery is right there. So let's talk to him. Admiral Bobbery, I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. Now, if you please, drop the act, Super Stats. We already found out you're Admiral Bobbery. What poppycock? Tell me what you want with me if I were that chap. You say you need a navigator and you want me to do the job, So sorry, but you have to look elsewhere. I set sail upon the sea, nevermore. But that's just not cool. You want to see me beg or something ecstatic? You have to come along. Only you can get us safely to Keelhaul Key. Awfully sorry, dear boy, but when I say no, what I mean is no! Now away with you. Now let's go into Bobbery's room, and there's a Shine Sprite. And since we have the Shine Sprites, might as well give him to Miss Mouse. 'Cause, yeah, it's best that we do that. Since, Bobbery is, pretty much distraught over sailing the 7 seas, we might as well find out why. And the only way we can do that is to go to Podley. But first, we've got a partner to raise. And, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Mouse was acquired in part 31, sorry. Yes, 31. Almost 25. So in part 31, we got Miss Mouse, and now we also have a new skill for Miss Mouse. I think it was Mesmerize she just learned. Or was it Smooch? I think it's Mesmerize she learned. I gotta look into their moves. Anyway, the fact is, Miss Mouse now has 3 Shine Sprites. And don't worry, Bobbery will actually have some love with Shine Sprites too, because there's more than enough Shine Sprites where we're going to power up Bobbery and to bring another character to a 2nd level. Anyway, Podley basically has a story for us. We want to go to Keelhaul Key, and Podley may have the reason why Bobbery has a true disdain for the ocean. So, without further ado, let's hear this incredibly sad tale. So, let's hear it. And, with that said, Bobbery was once married. He had a wife of enduring beauty named Scarlet. She was a red Bob-omb. The two of them were madly in love, the sort of love reserved for fairy tales. Now, Bobbery was a renowned sailor, so he was away from home for long periods. Scarlet never complained, though and always waited faithfully for Bobbery's return. And Bobbery, his eye never drifted. He loved only Scarlet, truly and deeply. Now that's devotion. So they lived and found happiness where they could, and all was good for a time. But not all good things can last. It was particularly icy winter when it happened. Scarlet fell ill. A virus, a passing cold, no one knew. But it was too soon to be serious. Bobbery was at sea on a long voyage and knew nothing of his bride's suffering. By the time he returned, Scarlet had succumbed. She was gone. Bobbery, of course, blamed himself. My loving wife perished because of me. If I weren't not at sea, I could have nursed her to health. I could have saved her. He was overcome with such thoughts. They tormented him, always haunting his sleep. He has never gone out to sea once. Why most romances end in tragedy? Why? I see why he won't sail. You all know his tale now, so let me tell you, do you still want him to return to the sea? Sadly, we have to progress the game. So, Potley will give you a dying letter from Scarlet, or more like Scarlet's last request on her deathbed. And it's the first time Nintendo has ever put the word death in a game that is actually licensed by them. So, let's take this letter to Bobbery, and maybe it would convince him to get back on the high seas. I wouldn't say it would convince him outright, but it would still convince him. Because seriously, Potley couldn't bring himself to give him the letter. And if he did, well, Bobbery would just go back out to sea again. I guess he gave the guy time to mourn. So Potley's not really a coward per se. It's just, it wasn't the right time in his opinion. And I could see that. So let's go on ahead and give this letter to Bobbery, which is the last thing we're going to do, and sit through another cutscene before we actually call it a part. Because once we start part 33, we are basically leaving Rogueport and going straight to Keelhaul Key. So, Bobbery, here's something for you, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. Well, not necessarily like it, but at least it may convince you somewhat. What? Scarlet? This is Scarlet's handwriting! Scarlet, my love! My love, if you're reading this letter, then I'm no longer by your side. Wow, that's already sad. Because fate has stepped between us, I decided to write you this letter. Wow. If you're reading this, I must have passed away while you were out to sea. She knew this was going to happen. I can only assume that you would blame yourself for it, my sweet Bobbery. Yep, she knew that was going to happen too, of which she did. Although my life was short, you gave me more than a lifetime's worth of joy. See, it's the touching moments of this game that matter. However, as touching as this moment is, Flavio's antics would pretty much take a dump on it. Anyway, though you will mourn, I beg that you remember the time I love. God damn it. You are the one with the sea as I were. Oh god, that's too fast. But anyway, time like love is a tide, I guess. That's what he was trying to say. But I messed that last part up. I apologize. But Bobbery just finally realized that he shouldn't blame himself for something that was bound to happen. Oh, and notice he has 2 axes above his door. Well, with that letter, Bobbery has regained courage and is now going to sail with us to Keelhaul Key. Now, if there's any last-minute things you need to do before you go to Keelhaul Key, do it now. Because once we go there, we're not coming back. Not until the chapter's completed. So with that said, I am going to go to the save file and I am going to call it a game. This is RPMan985, and now you see why I had the heartful cake. And, oh. Yeah, I just got a, gear message. So, let's see what it says. Oh! And it looks like Petunia wants me to play a game with her. Unfortunately, that mission isn't going to be dealt with until after Chapter 6, when I've unlocked more Trouble Center missions. Oh, that egg. That egg. Anyway, we're done here. So I'll see you guys in part 33 when we actually sail off to Keelhaul Key. This is RFman985. See you guys in the next